everybody, welcome again to Spikey Saturday on the Mana Leek. We are going to be doing a M15 Swiss draft, one of the last few. Cons of Tarkir comes out, of course, next weekend in paper. It does take a few extra weeks for it to get online, but once that comes in, we're probably not going to see M15 much anymore. But we are going to jump into this M15 Swiss draft here that's about to fire, so I will see you then. Alright, here we are with Pack 1 Pick 1. This is Spikey Saturday, so of course there are no stipulations, there is no wackiness, we are just trying to win. Our current record is unfortunately a pair of 1-2s. We haven't done much better than that yet. It seems my success actually comes more from wackiness or old drafts, but hopefully we can change that around today. We've got a Lightning Strike, which I think might be the best card in the pack. It's cheap, it's removal against a good amount of stuff in the set. Otherwise, we do have a Raise the Alarm. Raise the Alarm is good. It's obviously nowhere near Triplicate Spirits, but it is decent. I don't think it's better than Lightning Strike, though. Avarice Amulet is our rare. It's interesting, and it can be good if you do have a pretty solid ground force. It prevents all damage. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of something completely different. I was thinking of Shield of the Avatar. Avarice Amulet is just even worse. The equipped creature gets +2/+0 in Vigilance, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card. So you get 2 card draws a turn. That's great. But when that creature dies, your opponent gets Avarice Amulet. And I don't really want to be doing that. So we're just going to take Lightning Strike here. Just a solid first pick card. Let's see, we've got Stab Wound, which is also fantastic. It can be pretty good removal. It's also just a win condition. That 2 life loss a turn can really hurt, especially if you throw it on... we probably won't see somebody playing Tireless Missionaries. We'll see somebody playing Coral Barrier, probably. Throw it on a Coral Barrier. It doesn't kill the barrier. The barrier no longer does damage, really, and they just lose 2 life a turn, which is pretty solid. Otherwise, in this pack, we have a Rummaging Goblin, which I wouldn't take this early. A Sanctified Charge, which is great in white. I don't see too much else here, really. Amphin Pathmage is okay, but you should be able to get those quite a bit later. Coral Barrier, Elvish Mystic, they're alright, but Stab Wound is just leagues above the rest of those. It's also an uncommon, so we're probably not going to see that many. So I'm perfectly happy taking a Stab Wound and maybe going red-black. Alright, we have a white Paragon. I quite like the Paragons. Giving a good chunk of your team +1/+1 is always solid. The fact that they have an additional ability is just kind of extra. The white one, however, not a big fan of it unless we are really solidly on the Triplicate Spirits Raise the Alarm plan. We did pass a Raise the Alarm, but we haven't seen any Triplicate Spirits. Otherwise in this pack we have Netcaster Spider, which is decent-ish. Amphin Pathmage, as I mentioned, and Coral Barrier. I might be inclined to just take the Willforged Golem here. It doesn't commit me to a color. It's a decent card, and I think it might just be the pick that I'm going to take here. I can definitely see the argument for the Paragon and just moving into white. I can see the argument for the Pathmage or the Barrier and maybe pushing blue, but I think I just want to not commit here. Alright, so we've got still some good blue. Wall of Frost is pretty decent. Another Amphin Pathmage. We've got a Roaring Primadox, which is kind of fun. You can really build around it if you get a whole bunch of end of the battlefield effects. I'm not too keen on going into that, though. Undergrowth Scavenger is pretty good if you do build a sort of black-green mill deck. I think I might be okay just taking more removal here. Taking a Covenant of Blood, it's on color with the Stab Wound. It's also just good removal. I'm pretty okay with taking removal a whole bunch in Pack 1, and then using Pack 2 and Pack 3 to get some creatures. So I'm pretty okay taking Covenant of Blood here. If blue is super open, I'm going to be kind of upset about passing this many Amphin Pathmages. Just making your creatures unblockable is fantastic. Wow, we've got another Avarice Amulet. This is not the one that we passed. We have a Jace's Ingenuity, suggesting that blue might be open. That's a good number of blue cards we've seen go by. But in the colors we want to be, black-red, there is a Generator Servant, which is pretty great. And I think it might be the pick here. Miner's Bane, just not that good. Unmake the Graves, just not that good. So I think we'll just take the Generator Servant. Let's see, we've got not too much. Wall of Fire is just not a card we want to play if we want to do well. Shadowcloak Vampires in our colors, that's probably what we'll take here. Living Totem's pretty good, especially if you are sort of that green-white deck. Getting to pump up one of your creatures permanently with a counter is always nice. I feel like blue might be a little bit open with this Aeronaut Tinkerer coming, along with those Path Mages and whatnot. Maybe we should have gone into that, but I'm okay with the amount of removal that I have, sort of trying to force my way into red-black. So I'll take the Vampire here. Let's see, we've got Ingarrick's Wake, which is just way too expensive. You know, in M15 you don't usually get to 9 mana. Crippling Blight might be the card that we take here. Nimbus of the Isles, again, suggesting blue might be open. I probably should have thought about moving into that, maybe a pick or two earlier, but I think I will just take the Crippling Blight here. Not sure if I'll play it or not. It's an okay card. It doesn't remove quite as much as I would hope. Rotfeaster Maggot I'm okay with. It's a 3/5, so it blocks a whole lot of stuff. The ability to toss a creature out of the graveyard and get some life is just a nice little add-on there. Lava Axe we don't want to be playing, so I'll take this Maggot. Let's see, Wall of Limbs or Zoff Shade is our pick here. We've got the Amulet back. I still don't really want it. I expect my creatures to die, and I don't really want them to have my Amulet without having to pay 4 to cast it themselves. Wall of Limbs, I don't know if I'll be gaining that much life. I'm going to gain 4 maybe, but that might be about it, so I don't see that as a viable pick. So I think Zoff Shade is just what we're going to take. If we can get later game, then we can just run them over with this getting pumped up. Another Zoff Shade. I think I'll just take the Bronze Sable here. A 2/1 for 2 is perfectly okay in this set, and it also lets me block Krenko's Enforcer. Obviously, my black creatures are going to help me block Accursed Spirit, but this helps me block Krenko's Enforcer. Ideally, I'm going to be red and taking the Krenko's Enforcers myself, but I am only sitting on 2 red cards, which is not great, so who knows, I might actually get pushed out of it and have to go black-blue possibly. I'll take a Witch's Familiar. It's nothing exciting, but it's better than the other cards in this pack. Nothing really here. Nothing I'd even really hate to play against, so I guess let's take the Mind Sculpt. I didn't really see any white, so I don't necessarily know if I need to hedge my bets on white. So I guess I'll just take this black card, which I am probably not going to play. Staff of the Mind Omega is not going to be played. Swamp is going to be played, but we can toss that in the sideboard. Hornet Nest, that's a very nice card. It almost hurts to pass that. I could go black-green. I'm not married to red. Lightning Strike's great. It was my first pick, but I could take that and move into green. I've got an Accursed Spirit that goes right into my deck for sure. For red, if we're just looking at a Forge Double, so I think I might be okay taking the Hornet Nest here and completely moving green. On the way back around, we can get a Runeclaw Bear, maybe even a Hunt the Weak. Maybe a Venom Sliver if need be. So yeah, I'm pretty okay taking this Hornet Nest here and switching into green a little bit. Let's see, we've got an Undergrowth Scavenger, which is perfectly okay in green. We've got Typhoid Rats, which is great. Gather Courage is good. I think I might take the Typhoid Rats here. Stain and Blood's good as well. If I really wanted to try to stay red, I could take the Red Paragon, but with a Hornet Nest, I think I want to try to push the green instead. But I will take the Typhoid Rats here. I'm 100% going to play it, whereas it's possible the green suddenly dries up, or the red suddenly dries up, so I don't really want to take one of those cards. So I will take the Typhoid Rats here. Let's see, we've got an Endless Obedience, which is alright-ish. It lets me take a card from any graveyard, mine or theirs. But I think Hunt the Weak might be a little bit better. Even better is hunting the weak with my hornet nest against something big. My hornet nest will die, but I'll get so many hornets out of it that I'll be more than happy. So I will take that hunt the weak. Let's see here. We have a Hunter's Ambush in green, which we're not going to play. So we're looking at this Accursed Spirit, which we definitely will play, and is going to be the pick here. There's not even really anything else. The red is kind of drying up, so I'm perfectly okay to ditch that plan. Let's see. We are looking at a Shaman of Spring, a Shadowcloak Vampire. We're definitely not looking at the Moss Beast. Probably not looking at the Wall of Mulch. So I think I'm okay with the Shaman of Spring. Card draw is always good. 2/2 is always fine. I don't necessarily want a second Shadowcloak Vampire. So let's get the red out of there. Let's see. We have a Ranger's Guile. Or a Carrion Crow. I'm at 10 creatures. I can probably get a Ranger's Guile. Carrion Crow's not great. It enters tapped, but it is a 2/2 flyer. So I think I might just take the creature here. I can get a Ranger's Guile at some point in this pack or the next one. And I definitely like to have one Ranger's Guile. The hexproof is really nice. So let's take the Crow. Foil Shrapnel Blast. Fancy. So we could have stayed red. There is a Krenko's Enforcer here. But I think I'm perfectly happy taking the Satyr Wayfinder, especially if I pick up an Undergrowth Scavenger. Yeah, I think I want to go the green plan. The red train has sailed, or the red train has not sailed. Trains don't sail. The red train has left the station. So let's go with the Satyr Wayfinder here. And then there's a whole bunch of red. Scrapyard Mongrel would be the pick. Or Forge Devil, actually, if we were red. With my 2 artifacts, I'd probably take the Scrapyard Mongrel, but I think we're just past that. So I will instead take, I guess, the Hunter's Ambush, just to really try to pull green out of the mix. So on the way back around from this, this was my first pack for this round. We didn't get the Rune Clawbearer, we didn't get the Accursed Spirit, we didn't get the Hunt the Weak. We got a Geist of the Moors, which is crazy. I don't remember there being any other insane white cards in this pack, and that's a pretty great white card. There's nothing in this pack that I would play. I don't think I would play a second Bronze Sable, so I think I'm actually going to hate this Geist of the Moors out. I don't want to be dealing with a 3/1 flyer. We have another really good white card. That Paragon came back, but I'm okay taking the Undergrowth Scavenger, especially after picking up Satyr Wayfinder. Nothing really here for us. I don't think I'll play a Tyrant's Machine. I think I'll just hate the Military Intelligence, I guess. Again, nothing here. I will solidly hate that Sanctified Charge. I might play a Wall of Mulch. We'll see. Miner's Bane not being played, into the sideboard, and Forest into the sideboard. Sliver Hive Lord. We got a Mythic. Unfortunately, it's not worth very much. We also have an Accursed Spirit or a Flesh to Dust. Flesh to Dust is the pick here, I think. Yeah, this is not a great pack at all. Blood Host is a 3/3 for 5, and you can sack a creature to give it a +1/+1 counter and gain 2 life. There's not much that I really want to be sacking. There's no leave the battlefield effects, really. I guess it kind of pumps up the Undergrowth Scavenger, but I don't terribly want to do that. Solid removal, on the other hand, that is perfectly fine by me. Gather Courage, Satyr Wayfinder. There's a Triplicate Spirits. I guess it's between one of these three, the Hunt the Weak, the Gather Courage, or the Satyr Wayfinder. We have 14 creatures and 4 spots left in the deck, unless we cut something. I don't know if I want 2 Satyr Wayfinders, especially since I only have the 1 Undergrowth Scavenger. Nothing else really takes advantage of my graveyard except the Rotfeaster Maggot. I guess I already have a Hunt the Weak as well, so I might just take the combat trick here. +2/+2, especially with Convoke, is pretty nice. If I have any green creature up, even if I'm tapped out, I get to pump something up and probably make it live through combat. So I'll take that. Phytotitan is pretty nice to see. It's a 7/2 that when it dies, you get it back on your next upkeep tapped. So it does kind of lose a turn, but it is a 7/2 that they essentially can't kill. They need to exile it. Otherwise, we have Reclamation Sage, which is a great card. Not quite as fantastic in M15, but it's great in Constructed and in Cube and other formats like that. But I think Phytotitan is the pick here. It's a nice bomby card. Another Mythic and another worthless one, the Chain Veil. So we're looking at Living Totem or Sign in Blood here. I think Living Totem, that'll push us up to 16 creatures. It doesn't fit on our curve exactly, but I'm okay having another creature. I think that I want this to be a pretty creature-heavy deck. Being a creature-heavy deck, we could think about Overwhelm. Let me check Roaring Primadox. Roaring Primadox would do something with Satyr Wayfinder, Living Totem, Shaman of Spring. I don't think it does enough, really, for me. So I think maybe I'll just take the Overwhelm. I do have 16 creatures. I could live the dream of overwhelming a bunch of Hornets. So yeah, I'll take the Overwhelm. I might like that card more than I should. I'm not 100% certain on that. So we've got picks here. We've got Leeching Sliver, which isn't great. I don't think it's really a consideration, but we do have a Netcaster Spider. It's a 3-drop, and I'd like to have probably another 3-drop. It's also a 3-drop that can take care of any triplicate spirits or anything like that that's going to come at me. Better than Titanic Growth, I think, so we'll take that. Now we're going to need to make a cut. Looks like we might need to make 2 cuts, because I might want to play a second Undergrowth Scavenger here. That's the pick here. I don't like Bloodhost. I think it would be better in a different set where you needed a sacrifice outlet. But I'll just take the Undergrowth Scavenger here. Not much in this pack. We don't want another Zoffshade. We're never going to play Vinewelft. Back to Nature is in the wrong format. That should have been in Theros, although it probably would have been too overpowered in Theros. So I guess we'll just hate out the flyer here. You know, I have the Netcaster Spider and the Carrion Crow. That's about it, so hate out a flyer. Nothing really here. We've got another Golem that we're not going to play. I guess we'll take one of these Bloodhosts. They've gone around enough. I may as well take one. Not going to play it, though. And I need to be looking around for a cut or two. Nothing really here. I guess I'll rare draft an aggressive mining. We could take out Witch's Familiar. It's just a 2/3. Nothing really special about it. And Wall of Mulch can come out for sure. That deck's looking okay. We should be able to do something with this. Nothing really here. We're not going to play Hunter's Ambush. We're not going to play any of these. I don't foresee anybody else playing any of these except the Golem, so I guess I'll just take the Golem, but we're only going to play one of those. Let's take away... Does Forged Devil cause us problems? Kills Rats, Wayfinder, Sable. And that's about it, so I'm not terribly concerned about that. Let's take out the Crasher, I guess. I'll take an Eternal Thirst. I don't think I'll play it. Maybe I'll just take the Soulmender. Just hate that out. Leeching Sliver on color. Somebody took a land over a Hydra Surge. Probably the right choice. We're not going to play that Hydra Surge. We're not going to play that Leeching Sliver. I think we've got our deck built. I'll have to look through one more time to see if there's anything I missed, but I don't think I want to take anything out and put anything in. We're a pretty basic creature beatdown deck with a slight graveyard theme here of getting stuff into the graveyard with the Undergrowth Scavenger. The Wall of Mulch, I suppose, lets me get just one more creature into the graveyard, but I don't know if I want to trade anything for that. Possibly the Crippling Blight, but no. I think we'll just leave this as is. I don't think we'll side in any of our black cards. I don't think we'll side in any of our green cards. So we've got a pretty straightforward deck again. So we will just add our basic lands. 9-8. Looks good to me. So we'll add that to the deck. We'll submit the deck. And I will see you guys for round 1.